Welcome, Cancer and Cancer Cross Watchers, to your singles and new love read for May 2023. So we're going to get where you are, where you're headed, what you need to know, and then we'll get the next love interest for Cancer Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, and that will all be time-stamped in the description box below. So we have the Hierophant here as where you are. If you're new here, welcome. I upload twice a week, usually on Thursdays and Sundays. Okay, and what does Cancer need to know? So the deck is upright, it's not. So we have the Hierophant for where you are, Eight of Wands reversed for where you're headed, and the Temperance reversed for what you need to know. So it kind of feels like, I'm almost hearing that you might be feeling like a cold breeze unexpectedly or something like that, right? It just feels like there's this kind of ice cold energy on the side of you. Whoops, almost dropped the card. I feel like you know. I feel like you know exactly what it is. It's almost like, okay, we're doing this again? Okay. Like it's this energy of almost like, regardless of whether of your gender, it's this kind of been there, done that, almost matronly type energy. Still very powerful. And it's almost like you're not surprised when people act like, I want to say like, you know, jerks. I'm hearing idiots actually. And I feel like there actually seems to be something that is keeping you tied to a certain situation. It feels like it's love. It could be love for someone or, you know, what you're doing, your career, whatever it is. I feel like you're in a labor of love right now. And it does feel like you're kind of holding yourself to a certain standard. I feel like you are leading people. And you know that. You take that responsibility really seriously. I also feel that you may be advising people somehow. Wow, almost dropped the card again. Whatever it is, I feel like you seem to be really connected spiritually to, you know, what you see as the higher power. And it almost feels like you kind of have to be the person to dole out, I don't know, I want to say like, you feel like there's some message coming through you. It just, sorry, I might not be connecting very well with this read, so I apologize if that's the case. It just kind of seems to have this energy of, I feel like you may feel like you kind of can't let your guard down, right? If you are that leader, if you do feel like people kind of look to you for guidance, it seems to feel like, yeah, that you might be in an energy where you feel, we have the Nine of Wands as well, you feel like you always have to have it together. You know what I mean? And you do it, but it's, I feel, I'm going to ask you a question. Cancer, are you denying certain things or blocking or kind of, for lack of a better word, suppressing things that you're feeling because you feel that responsibility to lead others? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I feel like you don't want to admit that something has hit you as hard as it did. It's like you don't want to disappoint the people around you. Not around you, but like the people that look up to you, right? It's almost like you know that they need you to be something that isn't true to how you feel right now. I don't know if you've ever seen that meme about parenting, but it's like, yeah, it's great that those parenting classes show you how to swaddle or rock a baby to sleep, but what they don't teach you is how to pretend to be a choo-choo train when you're devastatingly unhappy or when you're really sad, right? And I feel like that seems to be kind of what you're dealing with right now. It doesn't feel like it gets the best of you. It doesn't feel like it overtakes you. It's there right now. And I feel like you seem to know that, or at least you feel that it's almost like in helping these people that you care about, you seem to actually find some healing. It's almost that energy of, it's like, if ever you have seen Peaky Blinders, it's a rather, you know, it's not a show for everybody, I'm going to be honest. But there's a part where this guy who has kind of put himself in a relatively powerful position in his city and that sort of thing, he gets really stressed out and he goes into the barn and he starts shoveling horse manure. And this, one of their, like, I guess barn hands, or I don't know what you would call them, but one of the people that work on the farm comes over and he's kind of giggling. He's like, what are you doing? And the guy goes, I'm remembering who I'd be if I wasn't who I am. And I feel like that's kind of where you're at. Or not where you're at, but I feel like that's kind of the space that you get into. I feel like you remember, you know what I mean? It's like, it doesn't make it any easier to face what you're facing. It doesn't seem to make it any less complicated. It's almost like you seem to, I kind of admire you here, because you seem to get to this place where it's like, yeah, maybe things aren't easy, maybe this, maybe that, but you're looking at the situation like you'd rather have the problems now that you have now, than go back to where you were or go and have to live someone else's life. Which, like, I'm hesitating to say this because I sometimes don't like when people say to me, but like I'm proud of that energy that you have that, because a lot of people don't, right? It's certainly something that I'm not very adept at. But anyway, so we have the Eight of Wands reversed here for where you're headed. So I feel like there's something that you're going to be keeping quiet about. I feel like there seems to be a situation here that you know that it's going to eventually kind of turn back around. And I feel like you may have wanted to go in there and get it to turn back around. But it's like you kind of just like, oh, the universe is going to have to, or the higher power, like they're just going to have to figure it out. You know what I mean? It's not that it's too much trouble. It's just, you know that it's going to happen one way or another. So you just kind of decide not to worry about that thing. And then we have Temperance. So I'm going to be honest, Cancer, I'd love to give you a different answer. I really would love to give you a different information here, but I feel like you might not be getting out of this energy anytime soon. And I feel like I'm hearing from a lot of you that like, okay, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like you seem to feel that, it's almost like you know that whatever stage of your life that you're in, you haven't finished learning all the lessons that you need to learn in it, so you're in no hurry to get out of it. It just feels like you are, it's almost like you seem to be learning a lot about yourself. I feel like you know that there's something about what's going on right now or what's going on internally for you that isn't Temperance. Isn't that kind of balanced, loving, reciprocal energy. And it's not that it's not in you, right? It just feels like, I want to say, you know that what you're surrounded with is people that can't pay you back the way you paid them. And I feel like it's almost this energy of like feeling lonely at the top. And not that you're putting yourself on the top of the pyramid or whatever, right? It feels more that it's like you seem to have a hard time finding people that you feel are on your level that you actually connect with and enjoy. And I feel like there seems to be this message here that it's almost like you seem to not expect that to change. And I feel like what ends up happening is that you become like you're okay with feeling like, okay, well, that might not change, but that's okay, right? Like, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. And I feel like in that, it's almost like you don't seem to recognize, or you kind of don't notice when someone that fits that description, it's like they're already sitting next to you on their throne by the time you realize that that's who they are. So we're going to get to the new love interest portion here. Just going to write the timestamp. So for those of you with a Cancer sun, guys, okay, that's 6 cards really. So we have the Moon, the 10 of Cups. We're just going to kind of put that out of the way. Moon, 10 of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, with the 8 and Page of Pentacles. From what I'm seeing, I feel like your mind is going a mile a minute. It's almost like you're sorting. You know how when, if ever you've seen in the supermarket, they have those sorting machines, and like you can bring in that big tub of change you have and you dump it into the sorting machine, and then it'll print you out a ticket to, to get some money for it or whatever, and they take the fee for sorting, or I don't know, I've never really used them, but it's kind of like that's your brain right now. You seem to be exceedingly efficient, and it's like you're starting to really accomplish things, and you're doing all, and you're like, yeah, this is awesome. And I feel like it's in the quieter moments that it's almost like you seem to, this might sound strange, you seem to miss maybe someone specifically. I'm feeling for a lot of you, it's like you miss having someone. And I feel like then you put yourself back into that energy where, you're not going to be leaning so far into that energy where you start to feel sorry for yourself. Because I feel like you know that it's a slippery slope, right? With this energy down here, I'm really drawn to this one. I feel like you know that if you stay in that energy, right? The longer you stay feeling like, oh, I really miss someone. Not like, oh, I'm so hard done by, but it's that kind of energy. It's like the ground keeps falling into the water, and it's like it's going to put the, how do I say this? It just makes it easier for you to fall into the water where you feel like you can get sucked back into that thing, and it's like, and it doesn't feel like you would get sucked into it, right? I'm going to be honest, but that seems to be how you're kind of looking at things here. I feel like if anybody wants to get into your world right now, they're going to have to do it through work or some sort of functional capacity, right? It has to have a function. It has to serve a purpose right now. It's like, I feel like you may be in an energy where you're all work or no play. And maybe not all, right? But maybe not all work or no play, but it feels like you are in an energy where it's like if new people are, how do I say this? It's like if they want to make their way into your world, they're going to have to do it through work, because it's like you're not open to new emotional connections, friendship, relationship. I actually feel like it's like you want it maybe, but I don't really feel like you're open to it. And I feel like you may feel that you made a mistake like that in the past. And I feel like you seem to either have really good boundaries, or you could actually be a little bit rigid here, that you're not allowing people in. I also feel that you're not going to be accepting anybody that has a Page or Knight energy. It's like, I'm hearing like King or Queen, of course, or, whatever the equivalent would be, depending on your gender. It's like You're going that level or higher. If ever you've seen that Brooklyn Nine-Nine show where Gina's talking, she's had an affair with one of the cops there. And she's like, I've cultivated a reputation who only sleeps with people, bike messenger or higher. It's that kind of a like, and it's not bike messenger, right? And that's not to, um, it just feels like this type of energy where I feel like there are people around you that are interested in you that you may be attracted to, but it's like you're waiting for that other person that's going to be sitting on the throne next to you, right? It's like you don't want someone that, if you were directing traffic, that would need your direction. You want someone that is as on top of their game as you are. So, I'm just going to write down the timestamp here. For those of you with your moon in Cancer, we have the King of Swords. Oh, wow. So, for some of you, it could be that you've turned this person down before, okay? For others of you, it could be someone new. So I'll say that, and then I'm just going to read it as this person. I feel like this person seems to be quite amused by you. It seems to be that when you get frustrated, they, sorry to say, but they kind of enjoy that. They seem to, it's like that's, and not when you're, they don't want you to be frustrated and unhappy, but it's like that's when they see you or from their perspective. It's like that's when they see you at your best, your most powerful. You don't second guess yourself. You don't, it's like that's when you seem to have the most, I'm hearing like vivacious or voracious. I know those are different words, okay? It just feels like that's when you get into an energy. It's almost like they seem to feel that they like when the boss energy comes out of you. And I feel like this person seems to be an energy where it's like you just keep impressing them over and over and over again. And I feel like part of the reason that they enjoy watching you, or they kind of want to get to know you. Well, hang on, we'll get back to that. But part of the reason that they enjoy watching you is that there's always something new in your personality. And it's almost like how you can go to being very cut and dry with someone that is requiring that right now to do what they have to do. Or I guess, to kind of for you to get someone to do what they have to do. Maybe this person needs you to be very cut and dry. And it's like, but you're able to kind of switch gears almost immediately and into that very caring, loving, Cancerian energy. And you seem to be so multifaceted. They just enjoy watching you. Not in a lovesick sort of way, but almost in like a giggly way. I feel like this person is watching. You can feel their eyes on you. And I actually feel, I'm going to call you out for a second here. I feel like that, and it's almost like I feel like that they admire you, and it somehow seems to encourage you to be at your best when they're kind of observing you, or it just seems to be that like when there's something about their energy that makes you want to be the best version of yourself. And I feel like it's almost like even if they don't know this, like consciously, I feel like they seem to really bring the best out in you. They seem to bring out parts of you that you feel are too vulnerable or too, parts of you that are hidden. whatever that is, they bring it out in you. I feel like it's almost like you feel like you're not yourself when they're around. Not in a bad way, but just in a, way. And I feel like this person is someone that is here for, I'm hearing like to stay for the long haul. But it actually feels like this person, it's like they're waiting for the exact right time, the exact right moment to make a move. I also feel that this person is somebody that, like, they want to know who you are, what you're about, how you're going to react to this, to react to that, how you carry yourself, how you treat other people. And they feel they know, right? But it's like, I feel to a certain extent this person doesn't lean too hard on their um, intuition. It's like they listen to their heart, but they kind of make people pass, like they take their head with them when they go, And I feel like this person, maybe they've been burned before. Maybe that's actually just what's worked for them in the past, right? It feels like the kind of person that people always seem to be better off. Like, for example, let's say someone is dating this person. When they're done dating that person, it's like they got a better job, they got a nicer car, they're doing better emotion. Like, this person seems to just cause people to level up. And I feel like what's interesting here, I'm hearing that it's like with you, this person looks at you like you could be someone that I'm hearing something falling from my ceiling. I don't know what that is. I feel like there's somebody that really holds a lot of themselves back. And it's like, and they're observing you very closely because I feel like what they're looking for now is that partner that they can kind of give their all to. And I feel like they've held it back for a long time. I feel like they may have given it to someone in the past and it scarred them pretty deeply when it didn't work out. It's like they offered their heart to someone and someone threw it back in their face. And they seem to see, or maybe not the same qualities as that other person, right? It's not about that. It's more that it's like you're one of the first people since whatever happened with that other person that they feel they could open up to. And that seems to be, it's like maybe they feel they need to know more about you, but they know what love feels like. They know what it feels like to trust people, and I feel like they know what it feels like almost like melt into another person, if that makes sense. So just going to, there we go. Just write the stamp down. We're going to do Cancer Rising. Oh, okay. That came out fast. So we have the Five of Swords here. Oh, with the Ace of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Interesting. So next love interest. Oh, sorry, I'm realizing you can't see those. I don't think you want this person. I feel like you're trying to avoid looking at them. They seem to be somebody that is, I'm almost picking, if you've seen Game of Thrones, it's like Bronn of the Blackwater, that one. It almost feels like it's that, I've never experienced this myself, but you'll understand what I mean when I explain it this way. It's almost like you're in your last year of secondary school. So you're like 17, you're about to finish up your schooling, and this person is like the 12-year-old younger sibling of a friend of yours that's kind of fallen for you and won't stop staring at you. There definitely seems to be some kind of lovesick energy, and I feel like Their energy seems to be a lot stronger than I feel you may have initially expected. So it's almost like I feel like you may not send this person away, but you definitely have your guard up. I feel like you're not really letting them in either. Um, it's almost like you already have this person's number. Not, I mean, maybe you do, but it's a turn of phrase, right? Like, uh, you already know how this person has treated other people, and it hasn't been great, right? And it's like, I feel like this is the kind of person that when someone treats them poorly, they really kind of go after the jugular. And I feel like, at least from what I'm seeing here initially, you're not about it. You're not looking at it. You're not. It's just. I feel like the energy from you is that you're not going to let this person in. I'm just going to get a couple of cards here for this person. Oh, so what I'm feeling here actually is this person just walked away from something that really wasn't working for them. And it's like the second they walk away from that, they turn around and their eyes are on you, and you're kind of like, oh, damn it. Right? And I feel like this person, excuse me, just with this Eight of Cups is kind of what's behind them. They feel like the kind of person that it's like if they had all of their problems right here, they would pick up all of those problems and they would dump them in your lap. And it's like, and then they, hold on. And it's almost like they'd smile at you while they're doing it. Right? I feel like this person doesn't see themselves the same way that you do. I feel like you, even if you don't know this person, something about it is off. You know that whatever they have to bring, it's like it's not for you. And I feel like, sorry to say, Cancer risings, I actually feel that this person will eventually kind of fade into the background and go off on their merry way. It just feels like you may kind of continue to feel some sort of energetic connection to them for a while. But I actually feel like you are relieved when they're out of your space. They seem to be somebody that says things that are really inappropriate, right? There's something about what they do that it's like, It could be for some of you that they're just here for the passion. You know what I feel this is, actually? I feel like this is you. It's like whatever could start with this person, that's not even what you want to start. That's not what you want. You know what I mean? It's like you actually seem to actively ignore this person and turn your energy towards something else that's going to kind of excite you and make you happy. So I'm just going to write down the timestamp here. So we have the Three of Cups for those of you with your Venus in Cancer. Almost said Gemini, my apologies. I just did the, I was going to say I just did the Cancer read. I just did the Gemini read. Apologies. I feel like this is somebody that they don't want to tell their friends that the two, like if the two of you were together, they don't want to tell their friends that you guys get together. And not because they're ashamed of you. It's more like if their friends knew what you brought to the table and what you have to offer, it's like they'd all be kind of drooling all over you type deal or hitting on you. You know what I mean? And it seems to, it's almost like this person is leaving a stage of life behind. Sorry, and I can't tell if it's an animal barking or people out there. Sorry, it was just distracted me. It's almost like they're giving they're going to have that one last hurrah with something that's going on in their life. And I feel like they do seem to have this energetic connection to you, and they are having this, I almost want to say, this last hurrah. It just kind of feels like there seems to be something here about rejection for you. I feel like you may somehow get rejected. Or it's like you seem to kind of choose to go your own path. Sorry, I don't feel like I'm connecting to this read. It feels like you're very hurt that someone didn't choose you. I was hearing that people didn't choose you. It feels to you like it doesn't mean that you're going to stop. It doesn't mean you're going to this. It doesn't mean you're going to that, right? It doesn't mean you're going to give up on yourself or your goals. And I'm feeling that specifically, that that's not what's going to happen. But I definitely feel that there are some situations that have kind of happened recently that you have had to let go of. One really hurt. The other one was kind of a pain in the butt. And I feel like you still feel this connection to the one that really hurt you. Hold on for a second. And I actually kind of feel like you get this resolve to not really deal with them. But that's, you are closing out a cycle there. So can we have new love maybe? Okay. New love for Venus and Gemini. Thank you. Oh. So we have the Knight of Wands here, reversed. So the Knight of Wands upright is someone that's very inconsistent, in and out energy, or they come in as quickly as they leave, right? And I feel like this person, hold on for a second. It does feel a little bit like the Cancer rising energy, okay? However, so it feels like this is the type of person that kind of won't leave you alone. But it actually feels like in the other one, it was someone that Cancer rising already knew, had a bad reputation, treated people badly, blah, blah, blah. Here, I feel like this is somebody that won't leave, but it's a different energy. They seem to feel like somebody who, it's almost like you may at first assume that this person acts like a child, but the longer, or like that you kind of don't have a whole lot of respect for them. And it's almost like maybe they're just to kind of describe the energy, like it's almost like class clown sort of energy, and you're the person that's trying to build a career. It's that type of thing, right? Not that you're going to be disrespectful to them, but you don't have respect for what they do. And I feel like the more you see this person, the more you get to know them, the more you see the things that they actually do. It's like this is the kind of person that does a bunch of stuff behind the scenes to take care of people, but they don't wander around bragging about it. And I feel like it seems to be such a big relief that it's almost like it seems to spark this thing in the back of your mind that like maybe you found someone. Maybe you finally found someone that can keep a freaking secret, that isn't going to run around and talk about everything and discuss everything. And it's not even that. It's more that you're looking at it like maybe you found someone that you can trust, that you can kind of discuss things with, that there's a mutual, I almost want to say like, that you trust their opinion, that you respect their advice, right? It feels like you kind of may underestimate this person at first, but I feel like to a certain extent, it's like this is the type of person that's going to fight off people, that will defend you, that will, excuse me, it's almost like they kind of have this, excuse me, this person grows on you, despite the fact that you try to shut them out. I feel like it's inevitable. Maybe not that the two of you are going to do this or do that, right? That's obviously up to the two of you, but you growing to like this person, you letting this person in, It definitely feels like that's inevitable. I feel like you're really going to like them. And I feel like you'll know that because it's like you'll want them to like you too. I feel like that isn't like you don't need that. You don't strive for that a lot. But I feel like it is something here. It's not huge, but it's there. So I'll leave it there, Cancer. Um, if this reading resonated, I hope it was helpful and brought you some clarity. And we'll see you on the next one. Much love. Bye.